so more people could see the candidates. Does anybody have, is this an issue, or do you want to comment on it?
It's me.
I can tell you that the independents were certainly for that and wanted to see that the idea of open government, the idea that everyone have the ability to make their own decision, because this is an important one. It's important that you know who we are, it's important that you know the issues, and it's important that you know how we stand. So I am all for this being televised, and we're hoping that it could be televised so people can see and make their own decision.
Anybody else want to comment?
This is not about transparent government. This is campaigning. It's people here tonight have an interest, and they came here for the government to put it on a regularly scheduled broadcast on television. It strikes me as a government involvement in the political process that I don't think is appropriate. Presidential debates were televised live. They were done once. They weren't put on a loop and shown time after time. I question whether the request would have been so quickly granted if I had requested it. I'm the outsider. I think this is the power of incumbency to influence things.
Okay. Anybody else? Mr. Walsh, you want to comment?
Absolutely. Yes is the answer. You posed a question. I asked, this is my third debate. This is my third time running for office in 4 years as an independent. Yes, I asked every time to have it televised. I was 100% for having it televised. I am proud of where I stand. I am proud of the decisions that come out through these lips are mine. I have no problem with telling the people of Howell Township where I stand. I do have an issue with this not being televised. I strongly question whether it was the two candidates' decision not to have it televised. And that concerns me greatly, whether they would be making decisions from the dais if they were elected on November 4th. I only want people up on that dais, and I don't care what nationality, what their faith is, what their party is. I couldn't care less. As long as I knew in my heart they were making what they thought was the best decision for the people of Howell Township. Partisan politics has to end. It is sinking our way of life. We all know it. In Howell, you have stood up and said, it needs to end. And I'm not pointing this to my opponents, okay? Not at all, okay? It needs to end. We all know that the system is sucking the money and how we provide for our children out of our pockets and making our ability to provide for those children get tougher and tougher. We know it, folks. It needs to stop. Voting for somebody because of what party they're with. We know where most of the money goes. It doesn't go back to the people. As an independent, okay? I answer to God and my wife and the citizens of Howell.
Question about televising the debate.
Oh, yes.
Would you like to comment on that?
I would, please.
Yes, ma'am.
We had no idea it was that important to you. It really wasn't. It was the issue of finances a bit. I mean, we didn't want to do it on your dime. You know, we knew that you offered, but we didn't feel that that was appropriate. We thought that if we were going to go in, we ought to, you know, pay our way, and we're very frugal in this campaign. Like I said, our total budget and expenditure has been under $4,000. So we really are watching the pennies, and we were thinking of the cost. But also, this isn't about open government. This isn't a government meeting. This is campaigning right now. And we thought, you know, folks that were interested probably wouldn't mind coming out and seeing us. And to tell you the truth, I think a little bit of the decision from our camp was trying to be kind to us all. We know that Mr. Walsh has had a lot of experience doing this, and this is not his first rodeo, and he's done it a number of times. But for 3 out of 4 of us, this is our first time, and I think, you know, it's a little act of kindness to maybe let us do this without having the TV cameras. We have print reporters, and we knew everything would get out, and people would take pictures and whatnot, so it's not really that we're trying to hide anything from anybody. Lord knows we don't think anything's going to get hid. But I think that those were the two reasons why we weren't so thrilled, so adamant about it being put on TV, but really we had no idea that it was that important to Mr. Walsh. Anyway.
Thank you. You have any comment, Ms. Clark?
I think I've already commented on thinking it's important. I don't think it would have cost more than I think it was $40 to have this televised, and that was something that we would more than willing to pay. And given your budget, I'm sure it would have something that. So if you're concerned about saving that money, that could have been something we could discuss. And I do think that, believe me, I don't want to see my face on TV, and I'm sure everybody's sick of watching debates. But for those of you that are interested and want to make an informed decision, I think it's important.
You could have passed the basket.
Thank you.